You're looking for the best? Look no further. Pride Nutrition, the highest quality supplement line in the industry. Today only, use the discount code MMR30 and receive 30% off and a free shaker cup to the first 50 orders.
Hi, I'm Sergio Oliva Jr. with Midwest Muscle Report. I'm here with Triple H, Hassan Howard Hoagland.
What's going on?
And we are just days away from seeing this guy step on stage at a national show. I mean, you got a crazy story, man. And people got to know, because everyone always says that they've been through turmoil and they're always living the dream and they're putting everything towards it. But sometimes that really just, to them, that means cutting out some carbs and not eating cake. You yourself have flown yourself to nationals with no help, been prepping yourself, getting yourself ready for a show, and not just a small local show, but I mean, obviously, I think is the best national show in the NPC. Man, what drives you to be able to when you deal with things that life makes you choose between your career and a normal life, that you just keep choosing the career?
Well, what drives me is I like to be better every day. I like to try to be better than I was yesterday, even if nobody else thinks I'm better. So that's mainly what's pushing me in this sport. I've only done 3 shows, this being my 3rd. My 2nd was a qualification. My 1st, I got 2nd in novice. So along with my trainer, John Cunningham, out in Kingsburg, California, he's been the one that's been growing me and training me and pushing me to be better. Him and I have been learning the sport together, and he saw potential, and I see that people see potential in me. So I'm very excited to see how far I can go in the sport.
Man, I'm excited for you. That's really cool, because I always say you really don't know where you are until you step on a national show. You could be the best guy in your gym, you could be the best guy at your local show, but it's not until you get on a national stage that you find out really what your report card says. Was there anybody that you looked up to getting into this sport, maybe someone's physique that you idolized?
I don't want to sound like it's very common to say, but Kai Green.
Really?
Kai Green, just the way he explains his knowledge of the sport and the way he explains his knowledge of body mechanics and weightlifting, I was drawn to. Nobody else was able to word it in a way where I felt it was philosophical and it touched me. So I was drawn to just his teachings in general. That's the main person I looked up to, was Kai Green.
Man, I can totally see that. I definitely always have an issue when I watch bodybuilders and the way they speak, and they just really sound really uneducated. And Kai came out of nowhere and kind of blew people away, and it almost kind of scared people, and they really didn't like him because of that. So I definitely could agree with you on that. But what about physique-wise?
Physique-wise?
Because there's no way you're the first physique guy ever to say you want to have a body like Kai Green.
No, of course not. Right now, the physique member that I'm following, other than Brandon Hendrickson, which of course is part of the team here, but Andre Ferguson. I'm very, very impressed by his physique, and that's the standard that I'm aspiring to be, and aspiring to be to grow toward. Excuse me.
So everyone's got their story. They walk in a store, saw a magazine, or they used to play football and they got injured and they just went and trained in the gym and their body started reacting. Some people have, famous fathers that were Mr. Olympias. But so what was your thing that made you where you're like, I do want to do this? I remember when I first started working out, I kind of just did it really just for girls. You just did it for attention. I mean, you did arms every other day. But it wasn't until I started training my whole body and my body started reacting to the training that I was like, man, maybe I was born to do this. And I really fell in love with it after I started doing it. Was there something that you can remember, maybe a story where you're like, man, because of this situation or experience, that's what drove you to go to the gym?
There wasn't really a major experience. For me, it was, I tagged along again with my buddy John Cunningham. He said, let's start going to the gym. I said, this is something to do. I started doing that.
Did you play sports?
I didn't play any sports. I was no kind of jock. I was pretty geeky in high school.
Really?
So, I mean, this is all fairly a new experience, being an athlete. But I started going to the gym, and it became something as simple as waking up and eating breakfast or driving to work. I didn't think about it. Most people are like, I got to get up and go to the gym. I got to get ready. I was like, I've already been to the gym. This is what I do. This is a part of how I live and breathe now. So that becoming a part of myself and who I am and what defines me is what allowed me to grow. And as I started to notice myself growing and responding to the training I was doing, which was already a part of my life now, people started to take notice and say, well, maybe you should start competing. And at first I was like, no, this is just me. I like doing this. There's really for no benefit other than, to stay healthy and to be positive. But once I got into the flow and I got the tanner sprayed on me, and the smell of the tanners got me excited, and now I'm seeing everybody else lining up beside me, and they're flexing and everything, and they're looking at me like, wow, dude, that's what got me more involved in the sport. I loved it. I loved the rush. I loved the feeling. I loved the feeling of being on stage, and I can't really describe anything else like it. I mean, just training, it was already who I was. I got no benefit other than it was making me better every day.
You were going to do it anyway.
I was going to do it anyway.
I like that, for sure. So you're the gamer who now is the guy you don't want to mess with when you're over the headset talking crap in the game, because this might be the other guy on the other end. Well, I wish you luck, man. I will tell you, man, I think you have a great physique, and a lot of people hate me because I'll always tell them the truth, and I want to tell you, man, that it's time to hang it up. I feel like there's a lot of people in this sport that they're giving up a lot for something that's never going to happen, and sometimes you do want to tell these people it's just not going to happen no matter what. But man, you definitely have potential, and you definitely could go far in this. So I hope just getting a pro card isn't something you only want. I hope that you want to go further in this sport.
I do,
because you definitely have a great personality, and you really are really respectful, and that's definitely not common in this sport anymore. And we need more people like you to bring that back, especially the men's physique class. Boom. Was there anything during this prep that maybe you hadn't experienced before, now getting ready for a national show? I know you haven't been on a national stage yet, so that's actually a good thing, because all the pressure can't even have kicked in because you don't know how it's going to be. So that's really good.
Right.
So you don't have to deal with that. But was there maybe something that you dealt with getting ready for this show that you did in any other ones?
Maybe the one thing I dealt with differently is prepping earlier than the other shows. The other shows, it was more of on a whim, and it was like, oh, I've got 5 weeks, I got 6 weeks. Because I stay lean pretty much year round, it was simple. This one I started months in advance to get ready for. And being in a state of focus and meditation for that much longer is definitely way different. That's what everybody has to go through to get ready for these. You have to get in a state of, I'm going to win for months in advance, for much longer than I have previously done. So that's what was different, is putting myself in that mindset of competitiveness and like a fight, like a will to fight for much longer, and staying in that zone for much longer. That takes a lot of practice, and
for sure.
I'm hoping I get better at that as I go along.
Yeah, those mental obstacles, unfortunately, no one can help you with those.
Of course.
The only way to deal with them is just by dealing with them.
Of course.
Well, in about 48 hours less, you will definitely know all that hard work and where it went and how it's going to pay off. And I wish you the best, for sure. Keep an eye out for this guy. It's our new Triple H member of Midwest Muscle Report, and we are out.